Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We've got quite an interesting roadmap and Alpha 3.17.2 update for you today. Alpha 3.17.2 is currently in EVOCATI, and I'm expecting it to go to first wave PTU by the end of the month, and then we'll be able to talk about it a lot more. But there's been some meaty updates and additions to that patch and its features. So, new feature for 3.17.2, Colonialism Outposts Derelict. Implementation of derelict outpost locations throughout Stanton with the colonialism theme. These locations will launch with missions, loot, and hostile AI encounters. The colonialism themed outposts I thought was supposed to be implemented in the Pyro system first, but this appears not to be the case now, with Cloud Imperium wanting to flesh out more gameplay area and points of interest with these outposts. They are markedly different from the sort of modular, little, almost deployable looking outposts that we see in the game at the moment, because I suppose in the future, maybe they will be deployable. Fleshing out the gameplay area with more points of interest, with these points of interest, is fantastic. I think they're going to really add to planets and moons where they're located. We also have AI dropships and reinforcements as a feature, enabling AI ships to land and deliver reinforcements on non-structured ground areas, such as planetary terrain, where a predefined landing area and assistance from air traffic control is not available. Assumedly, this makes use of the planetary nav mesh tech as well in Alpha 3.17.2. This is a major step forward for the game, and missions and areas that make use of these mechanics should actually give players something to think about and even potentially reasons to use ground vehicles more, especially if it's waves and waves of NPCs coming and attacking you. You might want some extra fire support or some armor, making you less vulnerable while you are moving valuable loot to your ship. It's interesting that they've decided to implement this form of sort of dropship and reinforcements. I would have thought it would have been much easier to have predefined areas on structures and landing pads for these ships to come in as the first implementation, but it appears they've gone straight for this one. That just seems odd, or maybe it's because they can effectively use this system for both. These are surprisingly massive additional features for 3.17.2, though it is based on their implementation and scope. How extensive are those new outposts going to be? Are there going to be reasons to go to them? Are dropships and reinforcements just going to be used at those new outpost areas in the first implementation, and maybe like the reclaimers and that sort of stuff, or is it going to be in other zones too? I suspect they're going to be a small ecosystem of tests with a lot of these features. Will they also appropriately use planetary nav mesh tech for these deployed troops? I suppose they have to, because the troops need to know where to move to and around. Something else 3.17.2 related, there was a thread desynced hitboxes on Spectrum asking, with desync issues that are in the 3.17 branch and the need to lead shots and problems with hitboxes, how high a priority is that to fix? Can we expect a fix for 3.17.2, or will it be later on? Yogi Clat replied, the physics team has provided fixes this week. Don't hold your breath, but it's unlikely we will be able to ship them with 3.17.2. The changes contain a lot of low-level physics code changes, and experience tells us that most of the edge cases take 6 to 8 weeks to be found. Other than that, they come at a performance hit specifically for the server. That is not a problem in the main dev stream, as it has a ton of other optimizations on collision code. However, the changes are not in 3.17 either. So all in all, it'll be a pretty volatile change, and the physics team do not feel it is ready for the live environment. What we will do though is test those changes in ETF, EVOCATI test flight environments, soon to get the first round of feedback, but everyone else has to wait at least for 3.18, as that gives QA enough time to deep test all possible scenarios surrounding collision detection. Hope that makes sense. It does make sense to me. It's expected then that we're probably going to get this sort of fix in 3.18. I'm still hoping that 3.17.2 is going to have a lot of bug fixes and optimizations that might make this seem or feel a little better, but we'll have to wait and see. We also had some updates to the progress tracker on the roadmap. So this looks at Cloud Imperium's work schedule, but doesn't commit the features to any particular patch release necessarily. Asteroid facilities, adding new asteroid facilities to the persistent universe, handcrafted traversable areas offering different gameplay opportunities both in the interior and exterior of asteroids. This deliverable was added to the EU Sandboxes team schedule, and their work is planning to wrap up currently for what they've got planned by the end of the year. These should help expand out the universe quite a bit with some interesting locations. Obviously, lots of people want to be able to visit like asteroid bases and build asteroid bases and things like that. And these sort of asteroid facilities, one step closer to that. There are a load of ships, however, that have been pushed off the progress tracker, Cloud Imperium have said, due to a shift in priority for the vehicle concept art team, both to await specific systems coming online, as well as additional resources needed on other upcoming vehicles. The following deliverables have been temporarily removed from the progress tracker until additional resources are allocated. This is the RSI Orion, the MISC Hull B, Hull D, and Hull E, and the Crusader Genesis Starliner. So they've all been paused. That does mean, though, that the vehicle concept art team are going to be working on a variety of other ships and vehicles and potentially environments, buildings, and interiors. It should be noted that these being paused doesn't actually also necessarily mean they're going to take longer to get into our hands than they would have otherwise, because even after that concept art phase and sort of finalizing it out, they still need to be put into the pipeline and then built out. Cloud Imperium's studio expansion may help a lot with sort of the need for resources and scheduling issues. Assuming they can attract and keep talent and the appropriate artists and devs, you should actually see less things slip and more things added to the roadmap and then actually get completed without as many delays. You may have noticed, though, that the Hull C is very much still on the progress tracker, with work wrapping up on it mid-June. We're past mid-June now, so that could mean that it's already completed. Interesting. So I suppose we could see that Hull C, maybe, if it's ready for Alpha 3.18 with the cargo refactor. That sort of makes sense to me, and that's not a confirmation. Obviously, the ship might need a bit more sort of love and tweaks, and it might not be ready. They could have run into some problems. There could be a huge range of things that they find during testing as well, but I am looking forward to seeing the Hull C. Anyway, that's it for your roadmap update. Alpha 3.17.2 is shaping up to be a much bigger set of features than I had initially expected, with lots of new locations, points of interest, missions associated with them as well, more missions in general too, NPC navigation and reinforcements, that Siege of Orazon dynamic event. Lots of potential game players there, and if the patch has good performance and stability, well, it's going to be pretty awesome. The fact that it's still a 3.17 branch means that that is much more of a possibility, because they haven't had to branch out to a whole new build, and that does lead to potentially a lot more bugs as they've added some much more big ticket features, especially with like 3.18, where you've got things like the cargo refactor, salvage, and full persistence. That's going to require a lot of testing, and we do know that once 3.17.2 has been released, they are going to be starting that 3.18 testing cycle. So there's some cool stuff to look forward to through July as well. But what do you think? Are you excited for Alpha 3.17.2 going to first wave PTU, hopefully next week? Or are you going to be waiting for the open PTU or the live build? Are you really looking forward to 3.18 coming hopefully at the end of September if the testing sort of waves go well, or are you just hoping to participate in that testing phase at some point in the next 3 months or so? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Hello, it's me, the Queen. It's my Platinum Jubilee this year, and safety and security are paramount. Lots of people ask me why we need a Queen and NordVPN. I defend the world with my sceptre and crown, preventing those who do it harm from carrying out their evil deeds. Channeling the power of nordvpn.com/BoredGamer and my divine right, I can overcome any obstacle, and so can you, by using the links below to get great deals and better internet accessibility, security, and encryption acidity. I don't know what that word was that I was trying to say, but I am the Queen! I will never be defeated, just like nordvpn.com/BoredGamer.
That wasn't the Queen at all. It was me. It was BoredGamer. I've got to say this at the end, actually, now, just in case someone says I'm impersonating the Queen. Tried to get her, but she was too busy. She says got like a busy weekend or something. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For June, we're giving away the newly released RSI Scorpius Heavy Fighter. This is a 2-seater X-Wing styled ship with a powerful loadout and a turret that can move from the top to the bottom of the ship, giving it a much better range of firing arcs. To be in for a chance of winning that, comment on any of my videos made during this month. More details in the description below. Please also consider supporting the channel by becoming a member with the join button under my videos, or becoming a Patreon, or even donating with a thanks button or donations in the descriptions below. Star Citizen is getting more and more flesh on its bones, and there's always news coming out, and we love to cover that, and we're only able to do that because of all of you watching and all the amazing people that go the extra mile. Whether it's commenting, sharing our videos, chucking money at us or whatever, thank you so much. I hope you have a great June, please take care, and I'll see you in the verse.